23, 21 maximum score of spliced array. Let me first explain this problem. Yeah, let's first take this example. So for example, we have nums 1 and nums 2. So it means inside nums 1 we can find some subarray. So for example, this 2 and 3. So from index 1 to index 2, yeah, we can choose 2 and 3. So we're gonna use 2 and 3 replace with this 12 and 13. So after replacement, we have two different arrays. So for nums 1, it becomes this, and nums 2 becomes that. Yeah. But what we need to do, we need to return the maximum score. So what is the maximum score? Maximum score is the maximum of sum of nums 1 and nums 2 after the replacement. Yeah. So let me first go to the whiteboard to explain this kind of a problem. Yeah. So for example, let me use a easier example. We have a 60, 60, and 60. So this is for nums 1, and another array is just 10, 90, and 10. Yeah. As we know that from the example, we can just change those two numbers. Yeah, 60 with 90. So here, so for this number, it has an increase of 30. Yeah. So what is the sum of the previous value? It is 180. Yeah. Now, what is the result? So the result is 210. Yeah. So what about we have another replacement? For example, so this is 60 can replace it with this one. So it will have an increase of 50, and this one will have a decrease of 30. And the last one will have an increase of 50. So what is the total? The total increase, the maximum total increase is 100 minus 30. It is 70. Yeah, so this one, 10 plus 90, 100 plus 10, 110 plus 70, it is 180. So the final result would be the maximum of these two. It would be, yeah, 210. So let's check the example. Yeah, as you can see, the example is 210. But how can we get the result? Yeah, if you see my explanation, you might think, yeah, so it's gonna be easier if we can minus the value. So for example, we can use this is nums 1, n1, and this is n2. Yeah, for the two arrays. So what if we use n1 minus n2, and then n2 minus n1, and check the maximum subarray of those two? So the subarray would be a continuous array. Yeah, so this is gonna be easier. So yeah, so for example, we first use n1 minus n2. So what is the result? So the result is 50 minus 30 and 50. Yeah, the final result would be this 70 plus the sum of n2. Yeah, so this is n1 minus n2, but the final result would be 70 plus the sum of n2. It is 180. So another one is this n2 minus n1. So it is minus 50, and here is 30, and here the last one is minus 50. So what is the maximum subarray? Yeah, if you did the maximum subarray problem, it's gonna be easier. It is just a DP problem. Yeah. So it is 30. So this 30 means this 30 would plus the sum of nums 1. It is 180. So it is 210. So the final result would be maximum of the two. As you can see, yeah, it is much easier than you expected. And let's go back to the code editor. It is a hard problem, but as you can see, the reading is very low. It is even lower than most of the medium problems. Yeah. So that is why this hard problem, yeah, for the reading is so low. And yeah, for another way, you can also think about another way to solve this problem, because yeah, this problem most of the time, yeah, if you think about it, it is not so hard. Yeah. So for example, for this example, yeah, you might think, so how many numbers I can find the replacement? So for example, this 70 and 30. Yeah. To replace this 40 and 20, but why we can find this one? Yeah, because if you do not use the minus nums1 minus num2. It's gonna be difficult to find if you can find some continuous values, which is yeah, it can be just 70, or why it is 70 and 30. It's difficult to calculate. If you use a minus nums1 minus num2, it's gonna be very easy to calculate. Yeah, we just need to take the maximum continuous subarray of the result. Yeah. Now let me just start coding. The coding would be much easier if you understand the solutions for this kind of a problem. Basically, it's a template problem. Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna prepare array 1 and array 2. So array 1 and array 2. Yeah, let me just write it like that. So array 1 would be n1 minus n2. So for n1 n2 in zip of nums1 and nums2. So this is for array 1. Yeah, it is just each of the minus each of the element. Yeah, and now let me copy it and prepare for array 2. It is nums2 minus nums1 for n1 n2 in zip nums1 and nums2. So the next we're gonna calculate the prefix sum. So this is why it is a template problem. Yeah. So n should be equal to length of array 1 and pre1 and pre2 should be equal to here from the beginning array 0 times n, and this is for array 1. Let me just copy it, and this is gonna be array 2. Now we just need to calculate the dp of the maximum subarray. Actually, it is a dp solution. It is a prefix sum. So from 1 to n, we can get the final result. So for the pre1, I would be equal to the maximum of array 1 I and pre1 I minus 1 plus array I. Yeah. Similarly, I can copy it and prepare for the array 2. Yeah, it's the same. So for the array pre2, so pre2 is just the maximum subarray. Yeah. So for the pre2i, it would be array 2i with pre2i minus 1 plus array 2i, and here should be array 1i. Yeah. Now we can get the final result. So the final result would be the maximum of the 2. So the maximum of the 2 would be the pre1. Let me check. So it would be the maximum of pre1 plus sum of nums2. I've already explained why. If you check from here, yeah. So for example, for this one, I get a 70. Yeah. So this 70 actually is n2 minus n1. Yeah. I've already forget about it. But let's try to calculate again. So for example, n1 minus n2, it is this one, right? Yeah. And here from the sum of all the values, it is 70. So this 70 should plus n2. 70 should plus 110. Yeah. So this is why n1 minus n2, you should plus the sum of n2. Yeah. Now let me go back. So this is why the sum of n2 should plus the maximum of pre1. And let me just copy it. It's gonna be totally the same. Yeah. So here gonna be the maximum of pre2 with the sum of n1. Yeah. Actually, this is the entire code. It is not so long, and the coding is not so difficult. Yeah. Everything is just template, and the time complexity is O(n), and n is a very small value. It is 10 to the power of 4. It is the length of the array. Now let me submit it to check if it works. As you can see, it works and it's pretty fast. Thank you for watching. See you next time.